Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Module B. Very exciting. It's critical study of poetry, and yeah, let's get into it. So what you're having a look at is you are having a look at one prescribed text, and you are having a look at how it's made, what it's about, and the language made up to do that. One of the really big things that they do like in this module is that despite your teacher going through the poetry and telling you what it's about and talking about what people think of it, they do want your personal interpretation, so how it relates to you and your life, that kind of thing. And yeah, basically we're having a look at context once again, okay, because you have to look at what was going on in T.S. Eliot's life and history and society at the time. Also how the poetry was received, what people thought of it at the time and what people think of it now. And then you have a look at other perspectives and you explore what people think. So the easiest way to do that is have a look at what someone said about the poem, and then you either agree with what they say about that aspect of the poem or you disagree. And that's how you help to make your own personal interpretation. All right, so the poems we're having a look at, they're the poems there, and it's all 5 poems that you need to really know and understand. So once again, as I said, we need the context, what's happening, language, content, and construction, how everybody's responded to it, and your personal response. So you need all of those things in there, easy peasy. Certainly in terms of context, what we're looking at for T.S. Eliot is his family background, the fact that he is a modernist poet. We'll have a look at modernism in the next video. We'll have a look at his religion and how that changed through his life and thus changed how he wrote his poetry, and that really big thing that was happening in the world, which was World War One. Cool. So that was World War One. The main thing you're looking at is textual integrity, and I think the easiest way to sort of look at this is through film. So here we have A New Hope, which was the first Star Wars movie in 1977, and here we've got A Force Awakens, I think it is. And what you'll see is you've got the Millennium Falcon in both films. You've got Han Solo in a very similar outfit, and she's mimicking the outfits of these blokes here. You've also got Chewbacca. All right, and these are things that, you know, these films are made 30, 40 years apart, whatever it is, and they still have, you know, very, very much similarities, and that's what the textual integrity is. Okay, the fact that you know, similar things over a length of time, certainly for a poet, it's very important that he may have been writing poems in 1910, then the last one we have a look at was written in 1930. How are they similar, even though there's 20 years in the interim? That's kind of textual integrity. It's basically how do they all stick together with their similarities. So similar themes, similar language, similar construction. Alrighty, so informed personal response. So once again, we're having a look at what other people talk about in terms of his poetry. You know, B.J. Smith says that his poems are sad. I agree with this because of blah, 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 and there's your evidence, and that is your personal perspective. So things you need to do, you need to know the poems, you need to make sure you understand the construction, you need to understand that the poems may be interpreted in different ways because of different audiences and contexts. So for example, us looking at the poems, we may not be so scared of modern society in a similar way that he was in terms of industrialization and the modern world being scary. We've got different sort of fears going on. You need to have a thesis statement, and you need to have a personal engagement. You need to have your own personal understanding, but also an understanding of what other people have said about the poems. And you also need to be able to talk about the techniques used and how they shape the meaning of the poem. So that's about that. What I need you to do for me, ladies and gentlemen, is I want you to write down the 4 main factors in this unit. All right, I want you to write down, you know, the 4 things that you need to understand from this rubric, and I also want to know what is textual integrity. I want you to write down a definition, and I want you to write down something that you think shows textual integrity.